KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano Program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Now on Prime Time, childcare facilities, movie theaters, and massage establishments are just some of the places able to reopen today. Plus, the House establishes an investigative subcommittee to determine the Guam congressman's fate. And this afternoon, senators voted on a handful of bills, including one giving GovGuam staffers a choice for their health insurance carrier.
Half day and good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. Child care facilities, movie theaters, therapeutic massage establishments, fishing charters, and non-organized contact physical activities are now allowed according to the latest guidance from Public Health. However, child care facilities can only operate at 25% occupancy, and organized sporting events, tournaments, and other similar activities are still prohibited. On Friday, bars and taverns will be allowed to reopen, but also at 25% occupancy, and bowling alleys can also resume operations. Over the weekend, the number of COVID-19 cases went up by 3. According to Public Health's updated situation report, one of the confirmed cases is between 10 to 19-year-old. One is a 20 to 29-year-old, and another is between 40 to 49 years old. 2 of the cases reported household contact to a confirmed case, while another tested positive through the Department of Defense. The SIT report further indicates that 2 of the new cases are male, 1 is female, 2 are from northern Guam, while a third is a non-resident. To date, there are a total of 185 COVID cases on Guam. Community testing in the meantime will be held at the PD Mayor's office on Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Delegate Michael San Nicolas is in hot water as an investigative subcommittee is formed by the U.S. House Ethics Committee. Here's more.
Delegate Michael San Nicolas is in hot water. The U.S. House Ethics Committee unanimously voting in March to establish an investigative subcommittee announced on Saturday. In a statement to KUAM through Facebook Messenger, San Nicolas wrote, "This is just a part of the process that we are required to go through in order to disprove the allegations made against us. We will continue to cooperate and thank the people for their patience and support during this time." The committee probing into allegations including an improper sexual relationship with a staffer, violations of campaign finance laws, lying to the government, and interfering with an investigation. As national headlines chronicle the affair, former staffer John Paul Manuel tells KUAM, "I stand ready to continue to cooperate with the House Ethics investigation. I'm saddened to hear that they are now investigating the congressman for interfering with an investigation and making false statements to investigators. I hope he finds it in himself to finally tell the truth." Former Delegate Dr. Robert Underwood says this situation is an escalation.
He needs to be held accountable for those things, and he needs to come home and explain it to us, not through statements, not through Facebook postings, but through live interaction.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Tomas Manglona.
Mike Kalaiko, a former staffer to Guam Delegate Michael San Nicolas, sounding off on KUAM's COVID-19 special report as an investigative subcommittee probe into allegations against his former boss.
Because of the kind of person that I am, I have to say something, but I'm also limited, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to point out is, to the public, a lot of people are pointing to, with the latest news over the weekend, that this is political infighting. People should stop fighting. This is not a local issue. This is a congressional issue.
Kalaiko, who worked for San Nicolas from May to August last year, was privy to information at the D.C. and local offices. He suggested that he signed an NDA upon hiring. He tells KUAM that while he has not been interviewed by the Ethics Committee, he shares the concern of Guam's political fate at the nation's capital. Speaker Tina Munya Barnes says she's been fielding calls from residents and Guamanians off-island concerned about 2 federal issues. The issues center on the federal ban on cockfighting and the reopening of the filing period for war claims.
I have collected almost 800 signatures for the war claims petition, and this petition was put out since the survivors started to receive their checks. And a lot of the survivors or their descendants have signed this petition to revisit reopening this war claims for those who have still have not gotten it and are alive today. And
the speaker says she will be transmitting the petitions to Congressman Michael San Nicolas in hopes that he will act. Senators passed 8 bills today, meeting briefly just to vote. One of the key measures approved was the Government Health Insurance Choice Bill by Senator Jose Terlahi and Speaker Tina Barnes. It went through 3 different iterations before passing by a narrow 8-6 margin. Senator Jim Moylan recused himself because of a family ties to a health insurance company. Sponsor Jose Terlahi thanked his colleagues after a drawn-out 5-day debate.
Toriji bumota este Bill 366 dangkalo na si Jusmasi. Toru hamjo ti dumalaki este Bill 366 ukumprendi inasun mizo. Do sanga na distinfenena no introduces ti na bill sa megay giempleyao giesti gobernamento ta man mamamaisin para tajuda siya.
Another measure passed was by Senator Joe San Agustin, which raises to $250,000 the amount of revenue certain businesses can make before paying GRT. And Senator Amanda Shelton's bill that provides $500 in COVID relief assistance to families with young adults and persons with disabilities. Republicans were critical of the bill, saying that the legislature could not dictate how federal funds are spent. They also argued that the governor already has the power to implement such a program. A bill to establish a stand-your-ground law drew strong reactions from opposing sides that essentially reflect the national debate over gun rights. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Guam already has a castle doctrine law which allows you to protect yourself with justifiable deadly force within the confines of your own home. The measure by Senator Joe San Agustin would extend that same right to public places. The arguments for and against are similar to the long-standing debate over the Second Amendment. Andrew Terlahi spoke out against the bill.
Everyday citizens do not have the training of public safety officers and might not understand the meaning of meeting force with force. We have trained public safety officers to do the job. We do not need any of our citizens taking the law into their own hands with this Stand Your Ground bill.
Terlahi and others representing the social worker community point to statistics that show such a law enacted in other places has led to more violence and has not served as a deterrent. But supporter of the measure David Silva says it's about the right to defend yourself and your family.
This is absolutely not about deterrence. It's about defense. It's about allowing the people who lawfully carry a weapon, who follow the rules of law, and allow them to defend themselves in the proper way. If you're in a place that you expect to be safe, when you're walking with your family at sunset in Tuman near the Hyatt between the hotels and it's dark and someone accosts you on the beach, it's those situations that you have to allow somebody the tools to properly defend themselves.
But most of the testimony was in opposition to the bill, with some even calling on senators to repeal the Castle Doctrine law. Author Senator San Agustin says he looks forward to a floor debate. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The Guam Education Board is reviewing the draft of the department's plans to reopen public schools with students returning on August 12th. A GDOE task force has been created, and last Friday the group presented a proposal to the board. According to GEB Committee on Safe and Health Schools Chairman John Birch, the plan is to have an A, B, C, and repeat schedule that allows for different clusters of students to come onto campus on separate days. There will be a 1/3 occupancy limit for each classroom at a time.
At this point, we're working with DPW and also GDOE to figure out which sites groups of clusters of students will be picked up and transported on a daily basis. So students will be going in basically 3 categories. Those in Category A, for example, will come to school on Monday, Category B, Tuesday, and Category 3 on Wednesday, and then we repeat that.
Birch says online courses are the most preferred method, but some students do not have reliable internet access, and this will likely result in a hybrid of online and in-class lessons. The board plans to meet again on June 30th to vote on a finalized plan. More than 8,100 applications have been submitted for the program in Salapia Zudan E Tau Tau program. Public Health Division of Public Welfare Administrator Tess Archangel says this equates to 17,599 households, and last Friday was the deadline to apply.
Most of the applications are incomplete. So there are requirements that they need to submit to complete, like a copy of their social security card, identity of the person, their ID or their passport, and if they're working, they need to provide a check stub. The reason being is because there is an income guideline.
$20 million in CARES Act funding was set aside from the Local Disaster Assistance Program. DOA and BBMR reported to the legislature last week that only $13 million has been paid out. If you applied for the program, you have until June 30th to submit the required documents. As for those currently receiving SNAP benefits, Archangel says, unfortunately, this will be counted as part of your income when applying for PUA. Today, the Guam Department of Labor started in-person appointments for those that have yet to apply for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance and Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation programs. And in partnership with the Guam Public Library System, GDOL also started a roving PUA processing center. Today, they were set up at the Dedido Library. Please note that no walk-ins will be accepted, social distancing guidelines will be enforced, and the first 2 hours will be prioritized for veterans, Manamco, and persons with disabilities. The appointment call center lines for the PUA main processing center and libraries are 988-3672, 788-0729, and 689-1872. He is proclaimed as the doctor of the church and the patron saint of lost things. And as Jason Salas reports, the Catholic faithful in Tamuning may have found a way to salvage a 50-year-old relic that literally fell to pieces.
A time of celebration streamed live on Facebook to the world. The image statue of St. Anthony of Padua toured the central village of Tamuning to celebrate its fiesta.
One woman and her son, the woman was in a wheelchair. She was in tears that this image statue would actually be traveling through the streets on her area. And it was just a wonderful feeling.
But that wonderful feeling became gut-wrenching pain when the statue reached the Oka Point area.
The truck just kept tossing and kept going up and down.
During Mass, Pali Mike Chrysostomo broke the news to anxious parishioners.
During the visit around the Tamuning village, the image statue of St. Anthony, which was placed in the Karosa, has been severely damaged.
Now, according to the priest, because of prayers and the work of a parishioner, there is hope that the statue may actually be salvageable.
He actually put it together. He took all these pieces and glued and taped it, and so right now it looked like he had a facial safe surgery. He has all tape all over, and all you see is the eyes. The eyes were preserved, and yeah, so we're hoping that once that tape is removed, you'll actually see his face in better condition than it was on Saturday.
The image statue of St. Anthony is more than a half-century old, having been brought to Guam from Spain.
Stick around for more news here on Prime Time.
During these uncertain times, it's important to remember that we are in this together.
The Calvo's insurance team has continued to service the needs of our customers.
As in the past 80 years, you can count on us to be here when you need us most, when it comes to your health and the health of your family.
Let's continue making the right choices by staying home, staying safe, and staying healthy.
We are all in this together, and together we will rise again.
Hafa, I'm Bernie Valencia with Matson. Our local Matson team understands that these are very trying times for everyone. Matson's top priority, like yours, is to keep our families safe and healthy and ensure you have what you need. We'd like to give you peace of mind that Matson's service continues unscheduled and uninterrupted. Matson is committed to our weekly service from the United States West Coast to Honolulu into Guam and Saipan. We are working with the Port Authority of Guam and providing the capacity and services our customers need so they can continue to meet your needs. Matson will take all appropriate measures to ensure continuity of service into Guam and Saipan. When we work together to take care of our family and neighbors, we will emerge from this as a stronger island community.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Port Authority of Guam, KUAM Communications, and Matson.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? not till work. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
Our community values everyone's voice, and right now, our combined voice can be more powerful than ever. It can bring our community together and change our island for the better. It can enhance health services, educational programs, and job opportunities so our families and neighbors thrive today, tomorrow, and for many years to come. Responding to the 2020 Census of Guam is our chance to be heard, come together, and help shape our future.
Chill out and cool off. McDonald's is bringing back an ice-cold treat that we love. Slushies. Available in 3 flavors. Fruit punch, cool blue raspberry, very popular, and the new pink lemonade. Each flavor now only $1.99 each. Try them all. Slushies are available for a limited time. Served at all Guam locations drive-thru in Tamuning, Hagåtña, Harmon, Mighty, and Jigo. At McDonald's, I'm loving it.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
The CNMI advances to lessen more restrictions today as the number of residents tested through the community program climbs. The CNMI governor's COVID-19 task force adjusts guidelines. Tomas Manglotnia has more from Saipan.
The Northern Marianas now entering the blue level of economic recovery. An executive order expected to be signed today by Governor Ralph Torres, marking a gradual change for the Commonwealth.
So we're moving the curfew of up to midnight, and then working a business to open up to 11 o'clock.
Initial plans note that building occupancy can now be at 75%. Churches can now host 50% of its congregation. Restaurants and bar service operating at half their capacity. Gatherings of 25 people or less from different households also now permitted. The plans state that this new level aims at testing about half of the CNMI's population. Hospital CEO Esther Munoz says it comes with extreme caution.
For everyone to get out of this threat is continuously doing what we're asking everyone to do. So this is commendation to everyone that have been practicing social distancing and doing their part.
The news comes as precinct-based testing is expected to roll out soon. Munoz says that much of the progress is contingent on community participation.
As consumers and as everyone else, we have to protect each other, so you have to do your part. We're asking everyone, including the businesses, to do their part as well.
As of today, the Northern Marianas has tested over 8,000 of its residents. Tomas Manglotnia for KUAM News on Saipan.
The government is asking the court for a writ of removal for Inigo Philbrick from the District Court of Guam to the Southern District of New York. On April 30th, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York filed a complaint charging Philbrick with 1 count of wire fraud and 1 count of aggravated identity theft. A warrant was out for his arrest, and on June 12th, Philbrick was arrested and transported to Guam for violating his supervised release petition. He is accused of conspiring a defraud scheme to finance his art dealing business from 2016 to 2019. According to unsealed court documents, throughout the course of the plot, Philbrick works with the art finance company based in Manhattan, New York, defrauded clients for more than $200 million. And after hours of arguments from both parties in district court, Lucille Torres' sentencing hearing was pushed back for a second time. Defense counsel Curtis Vandeveld fought for his client to receive less time behind bars. Torres entered a plea agreement for her role in a major conspiracy to smuggle drugs from California to Guam back in 2017. Torres went into cooperation with the government, and because of this, Vandeveld feels the worthiness of her cooperation is higher than the government's assessment. U.S. Assistant Attorney Laura Sambataro brought forth case agents to testify and detail the multiple drug investigations Torres has cooperated in. Torres faces 5 years with 3 years of supervised release. Ultimately, the court continued sentencing to next month with further discovery to be exchanged on Monday, June 22nd. And Guam Department of Education's summer school program launches today and continues throughout July. The program consists of distance learning through online instruction and physical learning packet distributions. There will be no on-campus instruction. Elementary and middle school lessons are open to all students through GDOE's expanded home learning website on gdoe.net for enrichment purposes. And for those without internet access, schools are distributing hard copy packets. As for high school, students will be graded on online instruction and paper instruction for students lacking a half credit or more. If you do not have internet access, high schools are distributing packets in 2 sessions. Session A is from June 15th to July 3rd from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Session B is from July 6th to July 23rd from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Additionally, there will be PBS university educational programming throughout the summer. The last public high school to celebrate a grad and go commencement was over the weekend at George Washington High School. KUAM takes you there to the home of the Geckos.
Colin Trevor Cepeda.
My senior quote was, "When you expect nothing and get everything, that's destiny."
Colin Cepeda and the over 200 other George Washington High School seniors are destined for greatness. Despite COVID-19, the Geckos rolled through proudly wearing their purple and gold school colors, being honored with a grad and go drive-through ceremony. And they tell KUAM how they felt on their big day.
I feel so great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
How do you feel right now having crossed the grad and go stage?
I feel good. I feel like, ooh, I accomplished everything in my life.
The energy was lively and this accomplishment did not go unnoticed. Stopping by to congratulate the graduates, Manila Mayor Alan Ngata.
Great energy, Viva Class of 2020 for the Geckos and all the graduating class and their accomplishments.
Cepeda and now all Guam Department of Education class of 2020 have their diplomas in hand and have successfully completed high school. And forward, they all go.
What I mean by that is, I just hope where if you have, like, where you have so much, when you have so little as a kid, and then you want to grow up and be something, you only can start by moving forward in life and do what you can to pursue what you want.
Keep it here. Coming up, we continue to celebrate the class of 2020.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
More freedom. To learn more. To create more. To connect more. Mix and match Data Pass. Take your data further.
Ruby Tuesday Guam is still preparing the dishes you love for either curbside carryout or delivery. Call them at 647-7828 or 647-7829 for curbside carryout service with a smile. For delivery, download the free Grab and Grub app and follow the instructions to get Ruby Tuesdays delivered to your door. Stay safe and healthy, Guam.
Here's a crust too thick and cheesy not to eat in reverse. Keep it coming, buddy. That's right. Back it up. The one and only original stuffed crust. Only from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
Your health and safety is our business. Protect your employees and customers with APEC Professional Services. Our certified team uses EPA-registered disinfectants and CDC-approved procedures, proven to aid in the fight against coronavirus and other harmful microorganisms. Prevent reinfection through disinfection. Call our office at 477-7310 or our 24-hour rapid response hotline at 858-2852. Keep Guam safe with APEC Professional Disinfection Services.
Join KUAM News every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on TV8 and streaming live on the KUAM News Facebook page for In Full Zoom, a half-hour program zooming in on efforts to rebuild Guam's economy. Nestor Lecanto will interview a panel of guests from the business sector via Zoom to discuss their ideas and suggestions on how the island can rebound from the devastating blow from COVID-19. From struggles to strategies to get Guam back on the road to economic recovery. Check out In Full Zoom Wednesdays on KUAM Digital and KUAM TV8 at 6:30 p.m. In Full, presented to you by Calvo Enterprises Inc.